to Turkana, to Mandera, to Garissa, to Nyeri, and every part of the country. We are not going for demonstration for the sake of going. That's an individual, they are thinking that they own Kenya. They should even carve their villages so that it become a country, they become president there. You know, it cannot happen that now you think that you have a monopoly of controlling this republic. If your man is not in power, you are telling the world that the economy is bad. And we are aware also when your man is in power, economy is bad, but you don't demonstrate, Mr. Speaker. We can't forget that. So, Mr. Speaker, as I finalize,
What is your
take home. Hey, there are only three. Number one, William and his boys we should take this. William Kipchirchir Arap Ruto, the president, must be serious so that this unemployment should be reduced drastically. Because the suffering of youth is just unemployment, nothing more. What are you asking unemployed youth? Now they are suffering. Now again you are bringing more suffering on them. So unemployment should be checked on. Number two, a tribe coming with monopoly mentality in this republic is uncalled for, and other people should not fall on that trap. We are calling our young people. We must not fall on that trap. We must come together and ensure that, you remember, I want to count for you, Mr. Speaker, just give me 1 minute. Countries. Oh, I'm leaving that. In 1 minute. We are aware, Mr. Speaker, that countries that fall on these coup d'etats, they don't rise again. And if they do, it takes over 20 years. Or even 50. There are countries, for example, in Africa, they did a revolution in 2011. Up to date, they are being controlled by an army general called Al-Sisi. That was Egypt. You remember? There's an individual called Al-Sisi. They did a revolution, then the Brotherhood came in. You remember Brotherhood are the people who killed Sadat in 1981. So they came in 2012, the same person was overthrown. And now Al-Sisi, over 10 years down the line, is the president. No serious elections in that country. I'm giving you Sudan. It happened some few years ago. I don't know, 3 or 4. They did away with al-Bashir. What's happening? Sudan now, people are just fighting. Let me give you Libya, for example. Libya, NATO and Europe and America brainwashed population. They turned against Muammar Gaddafi, Mr. Speaker. Since 2011 up to date, there is a president for the north, for the east, and a president for the west. There are president who control Tripoli. There is a president who controls other parts of the country. So we must check on that. And if you want to go for coup, finish it once. You can't go alafu na promise kwamba nitarudi kesho. That's a lie. Now, Mr. Speaker, you have asked me something. I'm done with whatever I was saying. You have asked me something on a good man called Kalonzo Musyoka, Stephen. That is a senior counsel, the former vice president, and he's also one of the senior officials, one Kenya. Mr. Speaker. This individual called Kalonzo Musyoka. There was a time, Mr. Speaker, and we must not forget. There was a time. This Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, and there was an individual called, who is the deputy president? I always forget his name. Gachagua. These three individuals, they were seated somewhere in Central. And what was the discussion? Discussion was a Kaba community to be returned to Gema. These cartels called Gema. Can you remember that? He was promised that if that goes successfully, in 2027, he will be the presidential candidate for Gemas. Now, forgetting the mistake he did in 2006 by running away with ODM Kenya, he has started disturbing us in Azimio. Now, Mr. Speaker, we have not forgotten. We can only forgive, but we cannot forget. In 2006, this individual, he used some funny individuals here in his villages that they ran with ODM Kenya. It took William Ruto, Raila Odinga, Balala to buy ODM from an individual from Meru. They bought a political party towards the general election of 2007. So this individual want to hold Raila Odinga hostage so that Raila Odinga can just oppose William Ruto so that they have that division in Kenya. Ile ya kucheza cheza, thinking that in 2027 the Gema community will support him for presidential election in Kenya. We have never forgotten. And if Kalonzo Musyoka can forget what he did in 2006, he want to repeat it in 2026, 2027. Barely 20 years later. My friend, I'm asking you not to forget what he did in 2006. Never forget. Maybe you are not born. Were you born? Maybe you are not born. But I'm giving you this serious history. These are recent issues that you must know. So, Kalonzo Musyoka disturbing us with funny writings because he left. Raila Odinga is seated at Jaramogi Odinga Foundation in a meeting, Kalonzo Musyoka with other leaders. Then Kalonzo walks out. He walks out. He comes back when Raila has already left with a certain media with a certain paper written with an unknown person. And Kalonzo want to read this thing that Raila has agreed that this is what Azimio is saying. But you walked out from the meeting where we were negotiating. Mr. Speaker, Kalonzo, nobody, it was just a time he was up, ilikuwa usiku, people were leaving. Now people were raging kiti kidogo kidogo. He akatoroka. I don't know why he was running. But we will never forget what he did in 2007. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.